How would you define the geofencing, if you could?
Yeah, so the geofencing is really a virtual perimeter around something. So it could be around my store. I have a store, I can put up a virtual perimeter that says, here's where my store is, and if anyone comes within a certain radius of my store, I want them to be alerted. So I could use a geofence. It's been around for a long time, but with smartphones becoming more popular, now it's getting into the marketing realm, but it could be as simple as someone's on house arrest and you want to know if that device goes outside of the range that they're allowed to be in. Or organizations have used it for asset tracking. So if a vehicle goes outside of a certain geofence, outside of a certain range of the organization, you know something's going on. So it's been used in that way for a long time, and now it's just emerging as a marketing tool.
And it uses GPS technology, correct?
You can use GPS. Well, there's a couple ways. There's the app-based, which is using GPS technology, and I download an app. But there's also network-based, and that can also use your cellular data. So there's companies that are referred to as location as a service companies, and they've partnered with cell phone companies, and they'll actually use cell phone data bouncing off the satellites of where you are.
And I want to get back to the fact that someone only has to be 13. What warning would you give to parents about this?
Well, understand that what do you have on your phone? Do you have location services turned on? What apps are being downloaded on your phone that could push messages? So on the iPhone, and I'm sure it's similar on other phones, every time you upgrade it, they're resetting your settings often. And there's location services, there's an automatic ad app on here that will push ads to me. So and a lot of the children have cell phones now, their phone probably is automatically set up, it has the location services turned on, and they're probably they quite possibly could get notifications. But they could also text to opt into things, and how do you prevent, are you going to turn off texting? Your child will never speak to you.
This is true. Was there anything else you'd like to add that we haven't covered?
There's just one thing I want to say. So I think that the creepiness factor, I think, is very much generational. So for the really young folk, maybe my generation, it's somewhat creepy. A little bit older than me, it's very creepy. But the young people, it's not creepy to them. They're willing to share their information. And about a lot of the consumers will say, a lot of smartphone users will say, I'm willing to give up my privacy to get a good deal. It's worth it to them. So it might not be worth it to me, it might not be worth it to someone older than me, but to the younger generation, it's much more widely accepted. They don't think twice about it, it's not a big deal. In fact, you're doing me a favor. I'm in that region, I'm gonna get 50% off. Thank you. You've done me a favor.
It is a sliding scale. The older you are, the creepier, and the younger you are, the less.
Because they grew up with these, and they're used to sharing every thought that pops into their head. They're used to sharing their personal information. I'm a little less used to it, and then someone a little bit older than me, it's maybe even more foreign. Why would you share so much information about yourself? But it's just, society is changing, and we're just accepting that that's the way it is. I want something direct marketed.